Slow down with me on Sunday. Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Alicia Elizabeth and I am so excited that you are here with me today. If you are a new viewer, hello, welcome. I want to encourage you to subscribe below to the right, only after you finish watching the video and only if you like what you heard. If you are a returning viewer, hey boo, hey. As always, grab a snack, get comfortable. I think we have something that's pretty yummy to talk about today. So last week we talked about jealousy and I opened with letting you all know that it was a question that was submitted, which led to that video. And then I also invited you all to send me questions following that video if you had a topic that you wanted to talk about, or if you had a question following the topic discussed last Sunday. And so I did get a question. I just want to put it out there that if you want to keep this Q&A thing going, which I enjoy, please feel free to message me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or even comment below. Right now, I'm not going to create an email for that because it's still very slow, and I don't want to assume that the questions are going to come in, so much so that I need a separate account for it. In addition, I don't want people to be submitting inappropriate questions anonymous, being keyboard thugs, because, you can hide behind an email, but baby, you can't hide behind them social media. So I want to meet people with the same energy when they slide into my inbox, but I don't assume that'll be a problem, but that's why I'm just telling you to go to my social media. And so let's get into the question today. This person says, it's not that I want to struggle with jealousy, which none of us wants to. It's just that I don't feel good enough. How can I begin to feel good enough? Thank you for this question. Thank you for your honesty, and thank you for trusting me with it. And so let's get into it, because I believe that this is something we all struggle with. We all need to figure out and navigate. And I think this all at some point in time is uncharted waters for us. So the first thing that comes to mind when I read the question is, let's break down what enough means, since we don't feel good enough, right? Enough by definition is as much or as many as required. And so the first thing that comes to my mind when I hear this question is, who has set a benchmark in your life? And I really want you to take a second and think about the voice or the person that has influenced you or made you feel like you weren't good enough. If I'm going to be completely honest, when I struggled with low self-esteem, it probably was the one or two guys in that season that might have rejected me, or maybe they didn't directly reject me, but they just weren't checking for me, right? Rejection can also come by way of not getting a job opportunity, not being invited into an organization, not being selected as the leader for a team. A lot of things that can translate into not being good enough, right? Sometimes it's as big as our parents, our siblings, our church members. It could be our friend circle. Places that we are a part of consistently can also open the door to people having some sort of benchmark that they have created in our lives, and we've accepted as being, this is the mark I need to meet, and every time that I don't meet it, I'm not good enough, right? That person or that situation continues to play in your head and you feel like I'm not good enough. And so because I'm not feeling good enough, I'm jealous of the person who seems to be meeting this benchmark. I'm jealous that my professor really takes a liking to this person who happens to be my friend. I'm jealous that this guy that I had a crush on and maybe I didn't share it wanted to talk to my friend. I'm jealous that this sibling is doing better. I'm jealous that this person is doing better in their career and I feel like I'm matching their work ethic. These things are not meeting a benchmark, and so it can cause us to feel like we're not good enough, okay? And so what I want to say, let's just kind of backtrack a little bit and level set, is that in response to that voice or that situation or that person that we've accepted as truth, we've come into agreement with it, because when we let someone have that much influence in our life, whether we openly admit it or not, we're giving them way too much authority. And so I want to just tell someone today that the person who qualifies you is the only person who can disqualify you. And your qualifier is Christ. So people can't disqualify what they did not qualify. So what are you saying, Alicia? I'm saying that in order for you to feel qualified in all spaces, you have to go back, get in your word, and find out what God says about you. You will never hear me credit my attire, my finances, my career, where I live, who I date, my relationship status, my friend circle group, to me suddenly being confident or qualified to a space. I consistently go back to, what does God think of me? What does God say is beautiful and lovely? What does he find to be pleasant in his presence? What is worthy of praise to him? Because man is fickle and they are ever changing. But consistency, I have found, is found in him. And so to go full circle, you have to respond to that person or that situation that has become a benchmark in your mind. And you have to tell yourself, this does not qualify me. This has not qualified me. So this cannot disqualify me. Okay? And so then I want you to ask yourself, what is your confidence rooted in? Oftentimes when we don't feel good enough, it's because the things that we thought would make us feel good enough, it's not sustainable. I tell my friends, one time when I was moving into this apartment, one of my girlfriends, she was helping me move, and the guys that was helping us move was like, oh my goodness, you have so many books and so many shoes. And so she had never seen how many shoes I had, right? And she was like, what are you doing with this many shoes? And I said, you know, I went through a breakup, and before I knew how to navigate breakups, right? This was years ago. I thought I needed to look like I was doing better. I thought I needed to make sure that should I ever run into my ex, or just in general, I was working outwards, inward, right? So I'm working on my attire. I'm doing all this shopping. I got heels on heels on heels, shoes on shoes on shoes. And I thought that through these things, I would feel more confident about now being single, now being out of this relationship. And it lasted maybe during the windows that packages were coming in. I felt like, yeah, I'm doing good. But like, no, that breakup still hurt. That situation was still needing to be dealt with. And so I want you to ask yourself, what is my confidence in? What am I putting my confidence in? Because is it on solid ground? Does it affirm me, and is it truth? Or is it conditional? Is it based on a person's opinion of me? And is it seasonal? Jobs are seasonal. Relationships can be seasonal. Your financial status can be seasonal. Your social economic status, your social group. Everything outside of the word of God can change. And so if you don't know what your creator, aka your qualifier, thinks of you, it's really easy to let the world and your conditions disqualify you, which lead to you not feeling good enough. But when you are rooted in what the word of God says about you, you can respond to everything that tries to disqualify you by saying, no. Like, y'all, I have gotten on here, beat it up and discussed it. And I know who I am and whose I am and what my worth is because of who it's rooted in. So no matter what I'm wearing, no matter what my weight is, no matter what kind of money I'm making, I know who I am because I was made in his likeness and in his image. And so I know how powerful I am. I know the authority that I carry. I know that excellence lives in me and excellence can be executed by me, not because I was born this way, but because of who I was created in the image and likeness, right? So what should we do this week in a nutshell if we want to feel good enough? So glad you asked. The first thing is to get in your word. I am that person that tells my mentees, I tell people who ask, there are a lot of ways to learn how to navigate the Bible. I'm not going to break that down in this video, but a good starting place can be to Google, what does the Bible say about me? What does God say about me in the Bible? People have written blogs and pulled quotes of what God has said about you, things that he's called you, things that he thinks of you, right? So get in your word about what he has said about you, and also get in your word to know who he is, because in seeing the many shades and dimensions of him and seeing characteristics of him, you can then tie it back to who you are capable of becoming or who already lives inside of you. It literally draws back. So when I see things, I'm like, God, you can do this. Or wow, the Lord showed up this way. I'm like, how can this show up in this humanly form? I can be forgiving. I can be selfless. I can be loving. I can be kind. You mean to tell me I can win battles? You mean to tell me that doors don't open for me because you have your hand on me, but that means that you have another plan for me? Listen, I don't think the Lord was a rapper, but I'm telling y'all, it's about to be on my little resume. It ties back because who I'm rooted in and whose image I was created in is a firm trust. I can trust it. I have a confidence in him. You can move me out of the country to another state, but one thing that's consistent is who lives in me. Okay? Then number 2, I said, stop asking people to affirm you. Being completely honest, one of my love languages is words of affirmation. And I have had to learn, and I am still learning, that when I need to be affirmed, and we want it from our friends or we want it from our significant other, no shade when they don't meet the mark. I can get right in my word and say, God, I need to be loved up on. I need to know that you think I'm yummy. I need to know that you think the world of me. I need to know that you have a plan for me. Can you just stir this love language for me real quick? Because your word sticks and it's true. And so when you struggle with not feeling good enough, I think you have to be very careful who you let speak into your life and who you are hoping will speak into your life, because they have the ability to tear or build. We will talk about this in another video. And so it's okay to take a season to say, I don't feel good enough, and I'm going to go to the source so that I can start to feel good enough, because it's impacting every area of my life. And if I keep reaching for these temporal things or these things that don't have a solid foundation, I'm going to continue to be up and down in feeling good enough. But if I lock in with my source, my help, my strong tower, my sure thing, then I'm going to surely feel good enough longer and consistently. Okay? And then lastly, you have to renew your mind. That may always come up in a suggestion on these Sunday videos, because essentially everything you're getting, all the information that you are consuming day in and day out, you have to remind yourself, because like, okay, let's say right now, I'm like, yo, I'm feeling good. I'm looking cute, right? What if I go outside and I see a previous lover? And let's say he booed up with a cutie, because let's be real, our exes can move on to nice looking pieces. Ooh, that was not nice. Nice looking women. I'm so sorry. So what? Now, am I not pretty? Am I not good enough? Am I not a good woman? No, that's not true. So I have to go renew my mind and remind myself that, you know, he is a good man. He is worth a good woman. And I am still a good woman. That does not diminish this. So you have to renew your mind. What if the organization that turned you down is now doing great things? Are you going to be a hater? Or are you still going to cheer and rally for that organization that you put an application in for and you didn't get admitted to? The job that you desire to have, suddenly it's just a hellhole because you're not there. Like, come on, no. Renew that mind. These places and these things and these situations cannot disqualify you, which means when you get rooted into your sure thing, you are consistently enough, no matter what you're faced with, no matter what the day looks like, no matter what happens to you, no matter what conversations you come into contact with, because God, your creator, your qualifier, qualified you and continues to qualify you. All right? I pray you have a wonderful week. I also pray you forgive me for the little peace statement I was getting in my little G bag. I was about to say G in the bag, but I don't know why I'm feeling this rapper theme. Anyway, yes, please like, subscribe, and share this video. And again, if you have questions, send them to me, and I will see you all next Sunday. Have a wonderful day. Happy Mother's Day to everyone. Bye.